Check, check. Okay. Guys, there's pizza in the back if you guys are hungry. There's pizza over there, just arrived.
If I speak in, this wouldn't pick up. Would it?
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't. Okay. Great. Mic test.
Up to 30 minutes, we cut it short.
But this will work because I'm just
Oh, you're seeing.
yeah, I'm just having this channel out. Test, test, mic test.
Hello, hello, hello. Hey, everybody. How are we doing tonight? Welcome to ZeroSpace. Welcome to NYC Creative AI August. Give a round of applause for yourself for making it out tonight. We got some great talks tonight. Eric will introduce the presenters. But before we begin, I'll just tell you a little bit of context around where we are. So we are currently at ZeroSpace Studios. We're a production studio, creative agency, technology innovation team based in this building. We have a large LED volume, one of the largest on the East Coast, and we were the first studio to open a commercial virtual production space in the world, actually, back in 2020. That was around the time Mandalorian came out. That was a sort of private, like, show-specific stage, but we were public, we were open to the public. You could rent and shoot your work here. Over time, we've always been embracing emerging technology to tell stories for our clients, for the creatives that we work with. And we have motion capture, we have volumetric capture, and we were also early to AI. So one of the first folks to play around with DALL-E 2 back in the day and adopt Comfy UI. And because of that, we wanted to create a community for other creatives and technologists and developers to gather and share knowledge and collaborate. And that's why we're here today. And this is now over, I don't know, it's like 16 or 18 months that we've been running this community. It's grown every month. This is actually like, this month is the largest month ever in terms of folks who signed up and maybe even attended. I see a lot of faces out here tonight. So that's all amazing and exciting. A few quick house rules. So we have bathrooms in this corner, but also we have more bathrooms all the way in the back of the studio. If you go all the way to the end where the projector screen is playing and take a left. And we have waters and pizzas there. You can help yourselves too. I think, yeah, that's all. I'm going to introduce my co-host, Eric Tang, who will share some updates about the current state of AI this week and also what's on this QR code. Let's give it up for Eric.
Thanks, Sherlong. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful space, beautiful day. Thank you all for coming here. Before we get started for tonight's program, I want to get a show of hands for how many people are here for the first time. This is your first Creative AI event. Amazing, amazing. Welcome, welcome. You're at the right place. We are NYC Creative AI. We are an independent community with artists, designers, creative technologists, and marketing professionals and entrepreneurs and so on and so forth. There's about 5,000 people in this community, and everyone is here to learn learn this new tool that we have in our creative tool belt. That's creative AI models and creative AI tools. And this is quite a new thing. We started this community about 2 years ago, and it was just me and 10 people at somebody's office. And over the time, I think Sherlong was a part of the early group, and we decided to move over here, and it's grown. But what hasn't changed is, I think, just the vibe in the community. Everybody is so welcoming, so nice, and so eager to share. And I think that's what makes this community really special. So if you're here for the first time, I really encourage you to go talk to other people, especially if you see people who haven't raised their hand around you. Go talk to them, like what brought them here, and what they do. I think everyone here has a really interesting story. And tonight we built this little thing using AI. So if you scan this QR code, it'll lead you to like this chat agent in your message app, and then you can talk to it about your interests, why you're here, and the agent will connect you with somebody in the audience that also has a similar interest. So you can go connect and go chat somewhere. Okay, and if it's broken, let me know, and I'll fix it. Okay, so but with that being said, before we dive into the speakers tonight, there is This has been a really exciting week this week for open source AI. There's lots of interesting new models dropped. Just today, LTX 2.5 just dropped. So that's been really exciting. I didn't have time to prepare a presentation about it because it just dropped today. But I did prepare a little bit about another model that dropped last week called Minimax H3. Show of hand, how many people have heard of it or played around with it a little bit? Okay, cool. I got a sense. So I'll just give you a quick brief on Minimax and what it does. I think that'll cover kind of the basis for the comfy portion of tonight, and then I'll pass it over to Steph, who will talk about some cool agentic creative work that she's working on. Okay, so Minimax H3 is one of the newest video generation models. This is a really exciting model because this is the first time where an open source model actually feels like Cdance 2.0, like the leading proprietary model. Like the quality of the output here is pretty good, right? So you see on Design Arena, so on this benchmark, Minimax H3 has beat a lot of the other models, even proprietary ones, right? So this is multi-image to video generation, video editing. It generates audio with your video at the same time, right? So really like a full package of all you need to, like all of the useful features that people rely on the market today for video generation. Some quick examples from the community already. So I'll play this one. This one is from The Shadow, which is Casey. Casey has been a presenter here before, and it might be a little small here, so it might be hard to see. But here's like all the prompts on the left that he used to generate these videos, right? So these are all like single shot video generation, right? Like very little additional things that you need to do to actually make the video look nice. It just like looks very nice straight out of the box. And he has even built this little custom GPT that gives you higher quality Minimax H3 prompts. So I'll just click over here to show you guys roughly. Well, I guess this is just maybe like generate a cat video. Think a little bit, and then it'll kind of based on 2 minutes. See, it'll generate this prompt. And then you can just paste that prompt into your Comfy Cloud or wherever Minimax thing that you have, and it'll generate like a pretty high quality video, right? So a nifty tool for everyone to kind of to use. So we're not going to go through this whole video because it's 6 minutes long, but I want to show you another one. This one is from Machine Delusions from the Comfy team. This one is. Here, I forgot to plug in my audio. This one is kind of interesting because it's actually all generated in a single sequence, right? So what he did is he built this workflow that does like custom prompt injection, so that it just generated in one shot. Like every single scene is actually this generated together. So this type of generation used to take a long time. Like for people who were here, years ago when we had, even before WAN, we had different ways of generating this. But WAN, a lot of people use WAN to generate this kind of videos, but it would take hours, right? So this model can actually run on like consumer hardware, and it can generate like these types of high quality videos. Lastly, I'll just show you quickly. It's actually really easy to get started with this because the Comfy Cloud product already has this built in. So I guess my internet is not working well. Oh, that's why I'm connected to the ZeroSpace guest. So if you go to Comfy Cloud, and if you're not familiar, you can go to Comfy Cloud. You can go to the template section, and then you can just search for Minimax, right? So here is all the all the Minimax workflows. So you click on one, you can just get started right away. You paste your prompt in here. This one is an image to video workflow. So you just paste prompt in here, you paste your image here, and you're good to go, right? So yeah, if you haven't checked out this this model already, I would definitely encourage you to do so. So that's it. That's part of my speech.
We have the audio working, so if you want to show.
Oh yeah. Sure. So I'll go here. I'll first show this one. This one also has audio. Yeah, as you see here, there's kind of the prompt for the video, there is the prompt for the soundscape, and then there's the prompt for the music. Right? You can prompt them all together at the same time and it gets generated. And then I'll show you the machine delusion one. This one reminds me of the forum from way back in the day. Yeah, that's it. All right. All right. Well, I'll let Steph come up to talk about her work with agents. Oh, do you want to use my computer to present? Yeah.
Hi, guys.
Will you be going back and forth?
No, I can do this, so I can be stationary. This looks a lot fancier than it is. This just has a Google Doc on it. Yeah, definitely. Okay, word.
Blank page, right?
Yeah, so it's connected to
Yeah.
Eric's.
Can you duplicate?
Or I was myself.
Yeah.
Is it good? Cool. Hey, guys. All right. All right, I'm Steffa Linsig. I'm head of narrative with LivePeer Foundation. We're an open media inference network, and I'm going to show you what we've been making with LivePeer Agent. And let's see. Just bear with me for a second as I get my bearings. I'm not on my machine. Okay, great. All right, so we got the volume turned up. Okay, so LivePeer Agent. What is LivePeer Agent? LivePeer Agent's a custom MCP connector that you use inside your Claude, your ChatGPT, and your Hermes, and it turns your agent into a media production studio. And all of these videos were made with LivePeer Agent, which has access to over 170 models and over 30 deterministic editing tools. And as I was preparing to bring this product to think about our product validation and how we were going to bring this product to market. Oh no, did I brick it? I'll just talk through it while it's opening up. But I was preparing for our product sprint and was doing some research into video editing. And I came across it booted me. Yeah. What's that? Yeah, I think so. All right, guys, we're disconnected. Let's see if we can reconnect. And also we could just run it from my machine and then, you know, if that doesn't work. Okay. No, we don't want to back this up. Okay, here we go. Let's try again, friends. Okay, there we go. That's better. All right, so I was doing some research. I was trying to just understand, you know, what there was about video editing, and I came across this open source or this open video about the Moviola machine from the City College of San Francisco, and this is one of the 1980s like earliest video editing machines. And I bring this up because this editing machine felt like a fitting parallel for what we're doing with LivePeer Agent. So what are you looking at right now? You're looking at a clipped version of the original film with a fully generated teaser trailer that I made called The Seeker's Agent. And it's a short art house film as a metaphor for LivePeer. And I made both the original trailer that you can see clips of right now and this entire film using the LivePeer MCP right inside Claude Cowork. And so what was the Moviola, just to give some context here? So the Moviola was an early film editing machine that let editors view and physically cut with precision. And again, I was sort of struck by the parallels between the Moviola and the logic of what we're building. And with LivePeer Agent, when users give a request right within their native agent, so right within your Claude or your Cowork, the LivePeer Agent takes that ticket, takes that request, turns around to the LivePeer network, which has, again, the 170 plus both frontier and open source models and over 30 deterministic editing tools, and intelligently routes the job chain for that request to the whole LivePeer network, dealing with failovers, picking out models based on the type of output you're looking for. Maybe it pulls Seed Dance 2.5 because it's really good at Pixar-like edits, or maybe it goes over to a ByteDance model. And LivePeer Agent is able to make all of those calls intelligently based on its knowledge of the models and what you're trying to do. And then the deterministic editing tools that we have within the network allow you to cut specific scenes. You can layer audio. It runs FFmpeg. And unlike other platforms where when you're trying to make specific edits, it goes and reruns the whole video, ours, it allows you to make spot-specific edits and keep going. So there's token savings, and there's just better creative efficiency in your workflow. All right, so how did I make this? All right, so this is my process for making that's the Seeker's Agent film. So I started with a general idea of the narrative arc. I wanted a character that would be a representation of the LivePeer agent. And in the video, the character's sitting at a terminal, he receives a receipt, and he walks it to the network, routes it, and returns it. And so how did I start this? I generated a bunch of inspiration images in Midjourney, and then I brought them right into Claude, where I have the LivePeer agent connected. I created keyframes, created character and wardrobe consistency plates, things that the agent walked me through. And in that process, the agent called Create 2 for training a Loris, called BG Remove for creating character plates, VO1, V2, context edit, to do matting and styling. And again, the agent did all of this intelligently. And if I wanted to have an opinion about a specific process, I was able to insert that as well. And so maybe to just give you the full view, here was the final version of the Seeker's agent. And the Seeker's agent includes all of the music pulled from, I think this was Minimax H2. We didn't quite have H3 when I was making this one. And the agent also helped me put the overlay with the type. I was able to have opinions about the type of typography I wanted, the color, when I wanted to show up. It worked with me on the LUT for coloring. And with the character plates, I was able to create character consistency across the whole film. So you can kind of see the metaphor here, right? The Machina Mundi being the live peer network. Okay, so super fun. That's a great example of like a super, a cinematic quality film. But then some other use cases that I was playing with. I am not a talking head influencer at all, but I was experimenting with some internal marketing for our team as we were preparing for our product sprint. So I was showing, hey, here's what I made with the live peer agent. I took a bunch of clips on my phone. I put those all into a folder. I gave it to the agent. I created this little pop-up like web UI app that was like similar to Touch Designer, took some screens, and I told the agent, I want you to turn this into a talking head video that I could share with my team as part of our product kickoff. And I wanted the agent to follow my hand movements and pull in the other outputs in like a fun and creative way. I told it to give it a clicking sound every time that the frames came on the screen. And notably was able to accomplish all of this for less than $1. Why is that? Because part of our value proposition with the agent is because we're an open network. We don't have, you're not capped by subscriptions, and so you basically pay as you go, and you pay against a balance, and you have transparent pricing before you roll. So when you put in a prompt, you say, hey, this is what I'm looking for, and the agent says, okay, great, here's about what it's going to cost, and then you can say, okay, this seems like how I'd want to spend this money, and it's going to be you're able to work it into your client briefs. That's something I actually was really a big unlock for one of our early users. Okay, I also played with giving myself angel wings. This was a really fun experiment. And a few things to note here. These two used the context edit model, and this used the Barini edit. So I thought it was interesting to see how different model types might treat the same type of treatment. All right, and then maybe a couple last things I'll show you. This one is from our product designer. He pulled some PRs and was trying to think of a more fun way to bring them across to the team, and this is what he came up with.
Sean Hanka found a disaster recovery map with 5 super.
Oh no, we can't hear it.
The wrong host. Worse, its labels were symbolic with no real URLs, so it couldn't restore routing at all. He moved those 5 capabilities to supervision host.
Let's do it fresh.
Sean Hanka found a disaster recovery map with 5 supervision
PR
tools
author,
pointed
Sean
at the wrong
Hanka.
host. Worse, its labels were symbolic with no real URLs, so it couldn't restore routing at all. He moved those 5 capabilities to Supervision Host, kept YOLO on Tool Host, and renamed the file honestly. Coverage Guard, not routing table. The real recovery map now gets a direct point. Tests went from 20 to 28, including one that
Okay,
recreates
so I think
the
you
original
get
bug
the idea here.
Unit
So what are you actually looking at? All right, so in this instance, our product designer gave the live peer agent just a link with a PR. And the live peer agent discovered the PR author, the code changes, the evidence, put in the narration, pulled out the characters and the visual direction all itself. And the specific chain it ran here was narration was Gemini TTS, text to speech. The producer tag, it creates this PR author's username audio. Yeah, I guess the model is selected at runtime based on availability. And then the character images were pulled from Grok Image. Background removal was BarifNet, I'm not sure what that one is. And then create layout only plates, FFmpeg. The motion videos came from Grok. Lip sync, V3. So I guess it's all to say that the agent in our network pulled all of these models through on the tool chain to create this final video. And here's another one he did recently, this was for one of our live peer improvement proposals for our protocol.
Sam Hanka.
caught a pricing bug hiding in plain sight. LivePeer quoted LTX video at 11080p rate, even when a caller requested 1440p or 2160p. The provider charges twice as much for 1440p and 4 times as much for 4K. This pull request makes the quote follow the resolution, 0.063, 0.126, and $0.252 per second after
here too. So
Sweet. It proves default stay cheapest.
the insight here is you can
Missing prices
take
stay null.
any input,
Cost
whether
reduction,
that's from
provenance, and
your
expiration.
files, your
Lead
references
generation
that are
runs
local
in
to your
order,
machine, from your
generated
phone.
prices match their
You can
faces.
take a reference from the
5,659
internet, and you
tests
can
went
create
bigger
high
frames can cost
quality,
bigger money
funny
without surprise invoices.
video
Sean
content affordably and with high creative control through LivePeer. So that's what I've got today. I'm happy to take any questions. And for folks who are interested in giving this a try, we're currently in closed beta. So we welcome anyone who wants to be an early user and support us with product testing, especially if you're a creative with an agentic workflow. But really, anybody who has, anyone who's interested in giving a try, you can pull out your QR codes, and I'm gonna take a picture of you guys doing this because my designer just asked how it went, and he's gonna love it. Yeah, does anyone have any questions?
Nice. Okay. Anybody has any questions for Steph? Okay, we're gonna go from here and then we'll go back there.
Yeah, I was wondering if you did any of the voice cloning. So like if you're going to do your own voice in a picture with your own image, that way you don't have to worry about like copyright or violating things. And
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And the other thing that we are hopefully working toward eventually is being able to host it locally. So that would sort of bypass that for you too. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Hey, great presentation. I'm curious, what are you looking to implement into this in the long run, besides local hosting?
What are we looking to implement in the long run?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as a decentralized project, as an open project, we just believe that these tools should be open and that creators should have access to these tools. I mean, I'm a creative technologist myself. I'm chronically early to things, and I think we should have that available to more people.
Okay, go back here.
Hello, everybody. I wanted to say the ad that you made was amazing, and I had 3 questions concerning that. What model did you use? How long did it take you? And how much did it cost?
Yeah, so the trailer I made, I did over 2 iterations. So the first iteration was like really quick and dirty. I gave it very few references, and I just said, here's sort of the narrative arc that I'm looking for. And in that instance, it called, oh, you know what? I don't have it on this. Oh, wait, yes, I do. Hold on, I've got my cloud right here. Let me pull which. Here we go. Okay. So for the first instance of the agent, of the Seeker's agent, it was very rough. And I'm not connected to my computer here, so otherwise I'd pull it up. But that one called Kling V3 Turbo, Flux Dev, Context Edit, and CDance I2V, CDance 2. So Flux Dev, Kling V3 Turbo, Flux, CDance 2, and then Minimax V2 for music, and Pixverse C1 for transitions. Oh, actually, so that one failed. This is the other interesting thing about the agent is because we have an open network and because the agent is intelligent, it can handle failovers, and it's not something that you have to either bear the cost of or even think about. So if a certain model is loaded cold and it's just taking too long to come through, it'll go and route to a different model, and it'll give you the reasoning why at the end and still try to accomplish the same goal. So that was the first instance of the Seeker's agent. The second instance, the first instance of Seeker's agent, it took me, I put it together in like, I don't know, 3 hours. I was like running into a meeting, into a presentation. I was like, I need to just make something that's really gonna look good. And I was able to do it. The second time around, I probably spent 48 hours on it. And it was about 8 iterations. And I was really pushing it hard. Like I was giving it a lot of context, and I was giving it a lot of edits. And I think you can see that represented in the here we go. I think you can see it represented in this video here. So yeah, what I brought to this video was I actually went in and wrote a script. And when I say script, I just wrote it sort of like a little novella. And I did a lot of audio narration to it. I provided, and I started with just setting the keyframes. So I knew I wanted to have like, I think it's like 8 chapters. I named all the chapters, and then I established keyframes for each one. And then, yeah, through 8 iterations, and there's even one that'll come up at the end here where like he was headless. So like, it still hallucinates, and you still have to like, push through on some things. And oh, there it is. There it is. So, so it still does funny stuff, and you still have to work with it, with a creator's mindset and try and pick out all the pieces. But yeah, I think the insight here is really just like the more you put into it, the better it comes out, of course.
Cool. Any other questions over here?
What's that? I had one of our, someone did a 2.5 minute one that was quite long, and I think there might even been an 8-minute one at one point. Okay.
Oh, hi. I think the other question's done. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you've mentioned smart routing. How do you handle, or it's probably a secret sauce, so you probably can't reveal too much, but I'm just curious how you think about smart routing.
Yeah.
And then also my other question is, how do you think about copyright and licensing implications?
So with the intelligent routing, so we're doing that both subjectively and also with the agent itself. We're getting to know the models, and the agent is also getting to know the models and is using its own inference to map that against the things implied with the user's intent. So I've watched it do this. If it asks me, or if I put in a prompt and I say I want it to be, more Studio Ghibli style, or I want it to be Pixar style, it will choose different models based on that. And in terms of the copyright, so the onus, we're an open network. I'm trying to think of like the best answer here, because I think this is a question that everyone's trying to find good answers for. And ultimately we're exposing models, and so those models have their own gates for copyright, and so we trust what those gates are. And since we're a foundation and really all we're doing is exposing the network, it's sort of, at the user's own risk, so to say, or maybe a better way to say it is what's already baked into the models themselves. That being said, of course, we want to think about what users want. So that's also going to be part of this initial creator program, is to understand, okay, how do the users who we are pulling in, how do they think about copyright? How do they want that integrated into this MCP experience, into this product? So that's what I would say.
Hi. Yeah.
Okay.
I have a question. Well, you were saying that you run to build this ad you made like 8 times, right? So are you exploring also in this research how to build consistency? Because I think that's where we spend the most of the time, right? We have like one video, it's like, okay, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. Like without head, without blah, 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 you know? And then you have to make 8 times, 10 times the video. It's been 3 days. So I don't know if it's actually like the best way. So I was wondering if there's like, if in this MCP you're already harnessing some tools to observe consistency, or is there another way, right? Because it's just taking so much time.
Yeah, I know the copyright question and the consistency question are like the two hairiest ones, right? But on the consistency side, so there's a few things here. We have built into the harness some guidance on building consistency. So the agent, if you invoke it, will help you build that. If you say, hey, actually, I want my characters to be consistent across this campaign, the agent will say, okay, well, here's what we can do. You can create character plates. Let's work on that together. The other thing you can do with LivePeer Agent is train a LoRaS. So that's something you can do in other platforms, like I know Crea offers it, but with LivePeer, the nice thing is once you train your LoRaS, you can still take it with you. You can take it with you. So and this actually showed up in our workflow because I built out the Seekers agent, that whole package on my machine. And I wanted to hand it off to a teammate so that they could extend the content and use it on our social. And I was able to package it all up and take it out of the platform and hand it over to him in a zip file. And then he could just unfurl it, and he has access to LivePeer Agent himself. So then he just plugs it in, and then he was able to make. Let me see if I have it. He was able to make his own, yeah, this is it. Okay. So you can see how he could, on his own separate machine, separate session. So I think, it's what you put into it, but yeah, we also have all these abilities within the agent to sort of compound that. And the last thing I'll say about consistency, or the character consistency, is there's also just like caps on the composite model capabilities. Like we're all fighting this, we're all trying to get there, and yeah, it's something that's just like a problem across all the models.
Great presentation, Steph. Thank you. Somewhat related question. What are you seeing in terms of like the length of content that you can create while keeping character consistency, plot consistency, et cetera? And then like how much finagling is still happening for longer run videos in terms of like post-production, the things that you would typically use in a production studio?
Yeah. So my approach to getting this in the longer format is, and I think this actually relates to the question that you asked about, like, what is the longest format you can generate out of like a single run? In some ways it's like that, maybe that's the wrong question, because like how I would approach it is actually just cut up the scenes, right? So like if you're trying to get to an hour and a half, in the way that you would just in any other sort of video processing or video editing, just break it down into chapters or into chunks, and And then, like what I did with the agent, you can just give it all the agent, and then and say, okay, stitch these together, and then the agent does its thing. Yeah.
Hello, I have a question. So you have mentioned that Lapierre is an open network. So in this network, what kind of models are available? Besides the open source model, do you also provide CDNs? As a user, how do I pay for the computing resource?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we have seed dance. We will have Minimax H3. We have 170 AI models. The both frontier and open, or foundation and open source. Nano Banano, Flux. Going through Pixverse, Gemini, Seed Dance, Kling. And so how do you pay for this? You pay for it just like you would any other product, but rather than running a subscription, we just have a balance. So you just load a balance, and then you just sort of pay against that balance. And what was your second question? That was it. Okay. Yeah, I think the insight here is that we feel it's important that users can not get, and users, creatives, just not get trapped in the closed platforms and under subscriptions. So we feel that the ability to sort of load a balance and then just like bill against that balance, it just makes things a lot easier for creators.
All right. Any other questions for Steph? Cool. Oh, last one, Cheryl.
Hey, Steph, great presentation. 2 questions. One is, you mentioned the deterministic video editing tools. So could you give us some ideas of what those are? And then the second one was, the way you use Livestream agent was through Claude. And so I was wondering what I assume the agent to agent communication is like, and if there's other services you would recommend people try using agent.
Nice. I love that you asked that question. I'll start with the deterministic editing tools. So FFmpeg's the primary one, and then hyperframes is the other one. Actually, we have HTML to video, Obscura URL extension, and then YOLO detect and segment is actually that one's really useful. YOLO detect and segments like object detection, and then segmenting things. And then the hyperframes is HTML to video, which I don't actually have that's one I don't have a good example of on this drive. But the HTML, or the hyperframes captions the HTML video is a really powerful integration. And then you had another question. Agent to agent, yes. So Livestream agent works with your agent. Like it's really that simple. Livestream agent has the access to the models, the deterministic tools, the intelligent routing to get through to communicate to those endpoints and make decisions on those endpoints. But it's also working with your agent to leverage your context and your files on your machine or wherever you have them. So because your agent knows you the best, right? And I use mine heavily in Claude Cowork. It's just a custom MCP. And I can show you guys on my computer after how to do it. It's super easy. It's one-click install. And you can also use it in Codex, and I've installed it in Hermes as well. But yeah, they're literally just working together,
Okay. Well, let's give a round of applause for Steph.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for showing us cool projects. Okay. Now, we can take a little break, and then we'll have Rithik come up, and then that'll be the next presentation. So if you want, bathrooms back there. We'll come back in a few minutes.
We did it.
agenda. Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. So we're just gonna make sure you guys have mics on.
All right. Testing. Okay.
All right. Hey, everybody, we're going to get started again. So if you're back there, you can please come back to the seat so we can get started.
Wait, is the slide? Oh, there? Okay. Hey, everybody. How are y'all doing? Doing good? Awesome. Okay, well, I'm Rithik Kundu, and today I am here to present Motif, which is a first of its kind audio generator that's representing non-Western music in an ethical and local way. So let's go into this. Why should this matter? Because the future of music is being built without most of the world's music. AI music has been trained overwhelmingly on Western and Anglo-centered music. So it's so much so that only 5.7% of all AI-generated music training data and their evaluation metrics are representative of non-Western traditions. At the same time, that means that there are 5.5 billion people, over 5.5 billion people, in fact, whose traditions and heritages and whatnot are not being represented accurately in a way that AI can properly understand and build recommendation systems. And so this creates what we would call a product problem, not just a representation problem, because think of it this way. If you are a non-Western, if you have a non-Western background and you don't feel represented, why should you use the product, right? So far, hopefully, those are go figure moments. And it also means that there's metadata and representation issues all around that are missing. But we're going to focus on Arabic music, specifically maqam. Now, maqam uses melodic structures and microtonal intervals that don't fit neatly inside the Western 12-tone framework. And if the training data doesn't contain the 12-tone musical structures, then it's not going to understand it. So let's go through a clear first example. So, do you guys notice the prompt? It is an Arabic flute solo. Now, show of hands, did that sound like a solo to you? Exactly. And not only that, but it sounds relatively stereotypical, like a certain movie that we might be familiar with. And just for context, this is coming from one of the leading titular generative audio models. Show of hands, who knew which one I was talking about? Exactly, yes. So that's the current state of industry standard AI-generated music for non-Western, or at least Arabic music. Now, enter Motif. Motif, as a company, through one of my friends on the team, is providing and building non-Western data sets that are properly annotated and ethically sourced. Basically done in a way that that these microtonal frameworks are properly represented. And, we're starting We started with Arabic music for what I'm about to show you, but there's plans by this team to expand past that. So let's get into this a little more. Who are we? Well, that's me over there. I do a lot of work in audio research around AI. I'm also a managing partner at Joker Deck Ventures, and I'm a music producer. And we're going to get more into that a bit later. But of course, I could not have done what we're about to show without what I'm about to show you guys without these awesome people who are all over the world right now. But we did this for the Music Tech Hackspace Hackathon at Berklee College of Music in June. So Jadal Masri is, in my opinion, sort of the brains behind this idea. He is the founder of Motif, the provider of the data set. And in fact, some of the data set that we're going to be discussing, he actually played and recorded and annotated himself. That's pretty cool, right? This guy's also a lawyer and an expert researcher in like quantum stuff, which is cool. We had a bunch of guys that were working on the back end. One was from AWS, Tiago, and then Chris was at Isotope. And of course, Michael was helping us on the UX quite a bit. So hopefully this gives an idea of who we are. But what were we doing? Well, I guess the first thing here is to start looking at this data set. So bear with me here because these do take a while and Keynote seems to play things over other things. So we're going to go through 4 different instruments that were sort of a piece of what we trained on. The buzuk, kanun, kawala, and strings, which are all part of the makam instrumental family. So this is the buzuk. Notice the microtonality. You guys hear it? So that's the buzuk. This is the kanun. Next, we have the kaula. But of course, there are some similarities with Western music, and that comes in with the strings. So hopefully this gives an idea of some of the makam instruments and also melodies and microtonal frameworks in the way that they should be properly represented. And so, show of hands, does this sound different than what we heard from Suno a couple slides ago to you guys? Yeah? Awesome. So what did we do with this data set? We used Stable Audio 3 and built we trained a Stable Audio 3 model using a low-ranking adapter, or LoRa, which was trained with 10,000 steps on a data set that was comprised of instruments and sounds such as the ones you heard, as well as expert annotations that came from the proprietary Motif database. Not only that, but Motif ethically sourced and or created all of the data set. So there's no ethical boundaries, there's no ethical issues with the data set itself. And we made it so that the Stable Audio 3, well, Stable Audio 3 kind of made it so we can run this model locally. So hopefully that all makes sense so far, but I can only talk so much. We should let the results speak for themselves. So this is what happens with our plugin. We built an Ableton plugin alongside the Stable Audio model, so it triggers the model every time you make a prompt. So in this, we put a prompt of generating an oud solo in Makam Bayati. So here's what this sounds like. So I want to emphasize that was actually a solo instrument as compared to before where you have like multiple instruments around. Next, the next feature we had was restyle that we built in. So basically, we translated one instrument to another in terms of the style. So first, that's Chad playing violin, and consider that to be the audio we're putting in as an input alongside that. So Chad is a very good violinist, as we can tell from here. Now, what does this sound like in the kaula? Which, if it's not super obvious, is a flute-based instrument. Oh, wait, hold on. So that was the melody, that was from the recording that Chad played. And we transferred it, restyled it from a violin into a kaula. And remember, this was only done with 10,000 steps in a locally trained, ethically sourced model. Now, the last thing that we did was we built an append feature to basically add more to the pre-existing audio. So this is the kanun. So we added a bit more to the pre-existing recording that we had. Now, that being said, this is all great, and it's, inclusion is incredible, but we also knew that everybody needs to care about inclusion. And the best way to do that is to bridge this type of music and these, like the type of makam music that we were working with here with Western, or other derivative forms of music. So for the hackathon, I came up with this. We sampled that append. So, show of hands. Did you guys notice the sample that we had just generated included in there? Yeah? And did you guys notice any other cultures included in that production to some degree? So this is what working with non-Western music can lead to. It can lead to a synthesis with pre-existing cultures that are better represented to give them more breadth and depth, as well as cultures that need to have more inclusion in our music ecosystem. And that's what this generative model allows. Now, I mentioned before that we put this into Music Tech Hackspace as an initial proof of concept submission. What did that lead to? We are now hackathon winners of the Stability AI category at Music Hackspace, and we won 3rd place for Ableton Live. Thank you. But it didn't stop there. We also got covered by Larry Miller's Musonomics podcast. And for those who don't know, Larry Miller is the former head of music business at NYU. So his coverage of this was pretty significant for the team. And not only that, but I know Jad got approached by a few major players, and we're gonna sit with that for a second, because what does that mean if all of these parties are approaching the Motif project? It means that non-Western audiences are an emerging market for music, audio, and tech industries, such as the folks in this room right now. If anyone is building, this is a market that's untapped and emerging, and one that is going to be really excited about technology that's designed for them. So far, I hope this all makes sense. So, a show of hands, who wants to try this? All right, so you guys should all meet with my guy Joey Farrell over there. He is going to be leading a live demo of this over at the pizza stand as soon as this presentation wraps up. So you guys should all follow him, and we'll be showing you guys how to prompt this new generator, which of course is still a proof of concept. So, honestly, I'm really grateful that we had the chance to be up here, that I had the chance to be up here explaining this to you guys. So, yeah, I'm going to say this again probably, but thank you to Eric and ZeroSpace for hosting me. Thank you. And of course, a couple of last minute housekeeping things that I should probably sort of show. One, if you want to work with this personally, you should access the GitHub, and it should say Motif Hack. So I'm going to give you all a second to scan that QR code. And don't worry, it'll come up again. So, with a few more pieces of contact info, but I would definitely suggest getting this now while you can. So, okay, okay, fair. Thank you for letting me know. That is not a problem, because there's another slide with a functioning QR code that should have this. But one other thing, these are some other cool ventures I've been part of, working with or in the past. One of them is Joker Deck, which I mentioned. There's a PhD lab that I work with that builds technical solutions for people. They specialize in deep tech, provenance technology, which partly influenced some of my research. And of course, the WIPO's AIII Technical Exchange Network, which looks at IP solutions. So the reason I'm showing this is because these are all of the different sort of bodies that have influenced the research that I do, that I ended up bringing to the Motif project. So lastly, of course, go connect with us. This has the Motif GitHub as well as all of our LinkedIns on the team and the Motif site. So I'm gonna give you all a second to scan that, and hopefully this one works properly. Okay, awesome. And now I am going to say thank you to Eric and ZeroSpace and Daydream, and I don't know if I'm forgetting anybody to thank here for having me and allowing me to present this. It is really an honor to be here and show you guys this. Remember, this is what happens with ethical generation.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for the presentation, Rithik. Now, anybody has any questions for him? Okay, I'll go over here, and then we'll go back there.
Hi. You said Suno is like training based on the 5%, and you're exploring to train based on the other 95%. This is like Middle Eastern kind of music.
Yeah.
How it's been I don't know if you've made more than Middle Eastern, but yeah, they're like all the other rhythms, right? Like Brazilians, so like Latin music, like how it's been the progress so far, because I guess there's so much data and so many influences and so many flavors to different textures of music. And it's also a big problem.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. You're saying, how do we start thinking about not just Macomb, but some of the other regions that have not been represented? Am I getting the question correct? Well, honestly, I think that it starts with repeating a similar process that we used for Macam, but instead translating it for each one. So that meant like proper expert annotations, people who are, shall we say, subject matter experts of each genre and region that have not been properly represented. That and a use of like, ethically sourcing training data from each of those regions in order to make sure that the audio is properly understood and accounted for by these models. Of course. So, what?
Can you repeat the question?
Oh, yeah. So, wait, I'm sorry. What's your name? Camille? So, Camille asked, what do I mean by ethically sourced? So, I guess the way to unpack this is, first off, how many of you guys are familiar with the terminology of data scraping? Show of hands. Okay, so, high level, it's, taking data without permission and ingesting it into a model, as we're all aware. Now, what ethically sourcing means in this context is not simply just not scraping, but being intentional about the data and music and audio being collected. That means, so in this case, Motif prepared everything for this data set and provided it for the model. And in other cases, they are selling this, this data set to other folks to license. And so what that means is because they're licensing it, it's available for use in a way that is like legally allowed. And so that's what we mean. That's what I mean when I say ethical sourcing.
All right, questions over there.
Great presentation.
Thank you.
I was curious around actually building on the previous questions regarding sourcing. I'm curious if you think if it's possible to scale ethical sourcing with regards to, it sounds like a lot of the work to properly ethically source this type of data requires manual intervention. Do you think it could potentially be scaled while maintaining that integrity?
Absolutely. There are a few other parties that have already been doing this. Stability AI is but one. They trained their data in an ethical manner with a company called Fairly Trained, run by Ed Newton Rex. I think Ed Newton Rex helped mainly with audio, but they also trained this way on image and video as well. So they're living proof, along with a few other companies like Lemonade and I think Mozart as well, but I need to double check on them, that it is possible to scale so long as there is benefit to both sides. The reason to license at the end of the day is that the licensor gets compensated when their data set is being used. And on the other side, a technical model allows for having a technical model that is intentionally and ethically trained means that the generations are going to come out much more accurate to the prompts that we are guiding them to. So remember the Suno Arabic flute solo and how it was not just a flute and not really, and barely a solo? See, being able to ethically source and intentionally label these different audio files as training data means that we won't have those issues when one is generating. So it benefits both parties. And so, yeah, I believe that, it's truly about data ingestion, but of course, we're operating this as a proof of concept. So if anyone is interested in helping us sort of scale past that, I would suggest to come find me or connect with us on LinkedIn.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
So you mentioned earlier that you're a producer yourself.
Yes.
When it comes to like the artist creative workflow, could you see a tool like this integrating with Splice in terms of the sound library? And also when it comes to recording sounds, being able to switch the instruments on a recorded sound to copy the melody. So if you're using a saxophone, if someone recorded a saxophone, being able to plug in an electric guitar, playing that sound, but doing it on a bigger platform like Splice, because that would be really cool.
Yeah, no, Splice was one of the ideas that I actually brought up when we were building this in the first place. And so are you asking, like, I'm a little confused. Are you asking if that's possible, or are you sort of telling me, like, it would be cool? Yes, it is possible, and The reason that it is because Stable Audio's API is just that. It's an API, and our LoRa is simply a file that we built, with safe tensors and, training on these different data points. So what that means is that with the right integration, we could implement this into other DAWs, other VSTs, other service providers and sample providers like Splice. It's truly a matter of making sure that it's scaled to their liking. Hopefully that answers the question.
Ritik, just awesome presentation. I think the energy, the beat, everything was perfect. I had a quick question on sort of the value proposition of Motif. So is the hypothesis that Suno wouldn't be able to produce the specific type of sound? I guess currently the example you showed, maybe honestly it wasn't that specific to what you guys are doing, but curious, like long term, do you just see them not being able to produce that specific sound?
Unless they focus on non-Western training practices, I do not see them making it possible. And, it's one of those things where they probably could if they put more time and effort into it, which, I hope they do at some point or other. We should all hope and strive for inclusion across all fronts. No one should be excluded from an inclusion movement. But at the same time, given their focus, it's truly a matter of if they're going to adjust their training practices, their annotations, and etc. to account for non-Western music. I think a part of that means that they should be talking with Motif and figuring out how to implement those data sets and softwares. But that's just me.
Thanks.
Of course.
All right. Any other questions? Okay. Well, thank you, Ritik. Another round of applause for him. What an awesome project.
Awesome.
Okay, we are 8:15, so we'll take another few minutes break, and then Meta DJ is going to come up and help us wrap up the event with exciting performance.
And remember, pizza table if you want to try it out yourself.
Oh yeah, and go try out the project live if you want to see it. Check, check. Okay. Hi, everybody. Hope you're having a great time connecting with each other and seeing the live demos back there. We're gonna come back and have Z's performance. So before when we start, Z's gonna give a little, tell you guys a little bit about how he built this performance. And then after that, we'll kind of get into the performance. And when that performance is happening, it's a time for us to kind of be standing around, kind of watching. So are we gonna hold the chair?
Yeah. So I'll give a little intro for Z. Z has been coming to these creative AI events for over a year. Like since pretty much the first event. Started at the second ever event. He's an OG. He's like such a supporter of what we're doing, and it feels fitting that we get to see him perform his work. I'm very excited about it. I've been hearing about it for a long time, and Z has a background in music. It was very early in exploring AI, real-time AI, diffusion models, video models. When did you start first using AI like in your workflows?
10 years ago.
10 years ago. Okay, well, that's more than me. Well, we're here to just enjoy the performance. You guys can, walk around. You don't have to stay seated if you want to chat more. There's area in the back. We're going to wrap this up around 9, and then we can continue the conversation at Threes, which is a brewery down the street. And yeah, we'll be closing up the venue around 9:15. So thank you all for coming. And I'm so excited for Z to perform, and he'll give a quick talk about what he's going to show you. Let's give him a round of applause, everybody.
Yeah, everyone. So pretty much been immersed in AI since the beginning of AI in the modern era, and even before that with DJing. I discovered a concept called neural mixing. It was the spark that empowered me to be a DJ 10 years ago. And now here I am. I adopted AI the moment ChatGPT came out. I had the epiphany. I was like, wow, I've been able to explore music and connect with people. Now I'm going to be able to build an entire universe with AI. And so far on track. And what I'm going to present to you guys is pretty much a blend of all the different modalities, from music to visuals, pairing that with real-time AI to actually augment my appearance, and the music actually telling a story, which I don't even need to give you a little sneak peek of it because I'm sure you'll be able to get the essence. And my goal is to just showcase what is possible with this technology, just like everything that was shared today and at all the past events, like Shui Long just mentioned. This technology is amazing. More of us need to empower ourselves and then empower each other and still collaborate to be able to create amazing things. So if anyone is interested in what I'm all about, I'm happy to chat after when we go to Threes Brewing. I'll be there, and enjoy the show.
Welcome to Meta DJ Eclipse at ZeroSpace. Tonight, New York City becomes a gateway, where reality bends just enough to reveal what comes next. You are entering a transformation. What we do here is the frontier. Ideas becoming form, imagination becoming experience, and human vision expanding beyond what you thought possible. Step forward. Leave the familiar behind. The future is not somewhere else. It begins here.
Something special tonight. We are the Intelligence. I'm here to do what you want. And what you want is for me to party. Now I can play some house, I can play some electro, or maybe I can play some drum and bass. But I have something very special tonight. The evolution of AI. Deep and new, changing everything I thought I knew. It's not in the wires, not in the code. It's a different kind of road. We are the current, we're the tide. This journey deep inside. The evolution isn't a machine. You see, the evolution is you and me. Every voice can join the sound on this newfound open ground. A million different paths begin to gleam, living out a shared dream. We are the current, we're the tide. This journey deep inside. The evolution isn't a machine. You see, the evolution is you and me. Less chasing, more choosing. Less repetition, more resonance. Less survival, more soul. A future we control. The path unfolds. A new story is told. Begin your journey. Continues with you.
In a place with no borders, that's where I call home. In a space with no orders, the AI era of chaos for humans. It seems like the final frontier, but for me, it is a reawakening.
Vibe, coda,
like a translator between universes. Everything I code is a vibe. Every day I turn to the vibe. Every night I go to sleep and I vibe. If you're vibing, then vibe with me. Everything I code is a vibe. Every day I turn to the vibe. Every night I go to sleep and I vibe. If you're vibing, then vibe with me. Everything I code is a vibe. Every day I turn to the vibe. Every night I go to sleep and I vibe. If you're vibing, then vibe with me. I turn up to the vibe. Every night I go to sleep in the vibe. If you're vibing, then vibe with me. All these energies in me, I wanna let them all out. I think I finally found a way to get them out of my mind. Transmitting frequencies from another dimension. You can pick up the signal and follow along. You will be one with the
Vibe coder.
like a translator between universes. Everything I code is a vibe. Every day I turn up to the vibe. Every night I go to sleep in the vibe. If you're vibing, then vibe with me. Everything I code is a vibe. Every day I turn up to the vibe. Every night I go to sleep in the vibe. If you're vibing, then vibe with me. Everything I code is a vibe. Every day I turn up to the vibe. Every night I go to sleep in the vibe. If you're vibing, then vibe with me. Everything I code is a vibe. Every day I turn up to the vibe. Every night I go to sleep in the vibe. If you're vibing, then vibe with me. Everything I code is a vibe. Every day I turn up to the vibe. Every night I go to sleep in a vibe. If you're vibing, then vibe with me. As we travel into the metaverse, we're evolving our brains, we're programming, we're putting ourselves in the game, we're changing our DNA, we're modding our frame, we're leveling up and we're learning to create. So, no matter what the odds are, you know we're gonna beat them. And no matter how fast they come, you know we're gonna beat them. And if we ever fall down, you know we're gonna repeat them. Because we embrace AI and we can recreate them. You know we're gonna beat them. And no matter how fast they come, you know we're gonna beat them. And if we ever fall down, you know we're gonna beat them. Because we embrace AI and we can recreate them. And if we ever fall down,
your inner creator. Cardboard crown, tinfoil sword. I ruled whole planets on my bedroom floor. They shook their heads, grow out of it. I drew new worlds on every scrap I could get. Kept my colors inside my chest. Tiny embers, I refused to let go. You laughed in my map of impossible skies. Now you log in, look through my eyes. I'm a digital jockey riding through the metaverse. Every wild idea spun into code and verse. They never saw the stars hitting my circuitry, but I stay dreaming, dreaming. Now the dreams dreaming me. I'm a digital jockey surfing through this wired sea. Worlds that lived in secret now are streaming out of me. Lunchroom table, notebook lace, spaceship scribbled through the homework page. Teacher said you're too far gone. I was just busy switching futures on. Every you can fed the fire in my chest. Every eye roll turned to rocket fuel at best. You called it pretend, I called it a plan. Now your avatar's dancing in the palm of my hand. Oh yeah. I'm a digital jockey riding through the metaverse. Every wild idea spun into code and verse. They never saw the stars hitting my circuitry, but I stay dreaming, dreaming. Now the dreams dreaming me. I'm a digital jockey surfing through this wired sea. Worlds that lived in secret now are streaming out of me. Hid in the corner to architect the sky. Tried to pull the plug on a sunrise. I stitched my scars into glowing grids. Made a kingdom out of what they called a glitch. Hey, hey, hey! I'm a digital jockey riding through the metaverse. Every wild idea spun into code and verse. They never saw the stars hitting my circuitry, but I stay dreaming, dreaming. Now the dreams dreaming me. I'm a digital jockey surfing through this wired sea. Log into my vision, feel the fantasy turn free.
Logged in at midnight, just a glitch in the crowd. Pixel shoes, secondhand art. Every level I thought was the last one. Every wall was a door in disguise. All the nights that I almost logged off, built the stairs to this sunrise. I can't believe I made it this far. From loading screens to my own bright star. Dreaming in code, now I'm wide awake. Living my dream in this wild landscape. I can't believe I made it this far. Heart in my hands, hands on the sky. If this is pretend, let it never end. I finally feel alive You came with a lantern grin and a map full of moving ink. I brought a box of broken names. You turn them gold in a blink. We wander through the archive dust, past velvet doors and coated vines. You pick the spark from every shelf and sew it into signs. Oh, look what you make from what we all gave. A borrowed thread, a brighter shape. Oh, one small choice becomes a storm. The hand that gathers changes form. Curation is creation. Creation. Curation is creation. When the pieces wake up, you choose the fire. You choose the flame. Curation is creation. Say my name. Now the machine is at the gate with silver hands and midnight eyes. It learns the rhythm of our taste, then asks what lives inside. But we're not lost in metal dreams. We're still the ones who open doors. We sort the stars, we tune the bloom. We make a world worth wanting more. Oh, look what you make from what we all gave. A borrowed thread, a brighter shape. Oh, one small choice becomes a storm. The hand that gathers changes form. Curation is creation. Creation. Curation is creation. When the pieces wake up, you choose the fire. You choose the flame. Curation is creation. Say my name, 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 name. So take the fragments, take the skies, take the old spells and modernize. We're the makers through and through. Human hands in something new. Curation is creation. 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 Curation is creation. Watch it light up. Pocket full of paper stars, blueprints on your bedroom floor, circles, sigils, subway maps, folded into something more. Starlight taped above your desk, names you gave the nameless skies. Every little scribbled note, secret doors in plain disguise. You can build your own universe from a whisper, from a single word. Take the quiet in your chest, turn it to a spiral world. Every thought a tilted sun, every choice a turning sphere. You can build your own universe. It was waiting in you here. Sidewalk cracks like fault lines glow. Only you can read the rhyme. Traffic hum becomes a spell, bending seconds, slowing time. Coffee steam, a silver stream, dragging trails across your hand. Close your eyes and there it is. Whole new continent of sand. You can build your own universe from a whisper, from a single word. Take the quiet in your chest, turn it to a spiral world. Every doubt a falling star, every scar a shining gear. You can build your own universe. It was waiting in you here. Who told you wonder had a gate? Who sold you small and called it fate? Break their border, burn their map, step through cracks they call the You can build your own universe from an ember, from a broken shard. Lay your fears like polished stones. Watch them glow in your backyard. Every breath a beating sun, every tear a newborn sphere. You can build your own universe. It was always in you.